Hey guys, welcome to Weltentor Boys. Today it's Friday, so it's time for Friday Night Magic. And the constructed format in my local game store is today is like many times before in the last weeks, Pauper. Pauper is a constructed Magic the Gathering format where you play a 60 card constructed deck with a 15 card sideboard. The construction rules of Pauper are very simple. You can play cards from every expansion and every main set back to the days of Alpha, but you are limited in card choice by only be allowed to play common cards. Today I'm gonna play a new deck I've never played before. Make sure to look in the comments for my results. So what I'm playing is a deck called Jund Gardens. The namesake of the deck is those Colony Gardens here. Colony Gardens is a land that enters the play tapped, but provides you with a plant token on entering. Those plant tokens are good for blocking aggressive red decks, Boros decks, but they are even better to be sacrificed later in the game with makeshift ammunition, giving you control over the board, but also are feeding cards like Clockwood Swarmkeeper, who's getting a +1/+1 counter every time a token enters the game, and they can be sacrificed to this Glimmer Baron, who can sacrifice a token to increase in size until end of turn. But those aren't the only tokens you can get in this game. There are plenty more sources for tokens. Sprout Swarm, here it is in English. Sprout Swarm is an instant with Convoke and Buyback. So if you pay 3 in addition to its casting cost, you get the spell back to your hand instead of discarding it to the graveyard. And you put into play Sprawling tokens. And as it has Convoke, you can also tap creatures you control to helping you cast the card, the spell. So a green creature can tap for green, and all other teachers, nice. All other creatures, I'm sorry, can tap for colorless or red or black, as you can see later. Your token army is growing in size. You can sacrifice them to makeshift ammunition. You can sacrifice them to Deadly Dispute, giving you card advantage. And as you sacrifice, guys like this Gixian Infiltrator will also grow in size, getting a +1/+1 counter every time you sacrifice a permanent. The rest is constructed around the idea of having artifacts that have an effect when entering the game, like this experimental synthesizer. If you play Pauper, you should be familiar with this. When it's entered the game, you exile the top card of your library, and you can play the card until end of turn, including lands, of course. And also, if it leaves the game, you get this effect another time. Doesn't matter if you sacrifice it for its own ability, that gives you a samurai, a 2/2 samurai token with vigilance, or if you sacrifice it with another sack outlet, like your Glimmer Barn or your makeshift ammunition. Ideally, you're gonna sacrifice this or cards like this Eco Wellspring or Chromatic Star or this Nimble Ride Schematic that gives you a token on entering and leaving to your Coldalto Rebirth. As an additional casting cost of this, you're gonna sacrifice an artifact, ideally an artifact that gives you a trigger when going to the graveyard, and you're getting 3 goblin tokens out of it. It's becoming quite messy here. So it's a go wide strategy, giving you tokens that can be used to getting ammunition to the makeshift ammunition, or taking on their own, or getting sacrificed, or pumping some creatures. You can play this, allowing you to discard a card at random with your Deadly Dispute. You should Deadly Dispute, Eco Wellspring, and Chromatic Star. You should regain cards during gameplay, and those can be discarded at random to pump your whole army for 1 or 2, or how much cards you're willing to discard at random. As I told you before, this deck is not as popular as I think it should be, but I like the strategy, and I'm going to enjoy the event. Nevertheless, I prepared to play against some decks that are more likely to be considered better decks. So of course you have to consider playing against Red Burn or Tron, or in my meta there's one really strong player with Mono Black Sacrifice, and you have to prepare for this with your sideboard. The sideboard, well, as we play red, we're playing one of the few chances to play counter magic in red. So this red elemental blast is there to play against blue decks, destroying or countering blue spells, destroying blue permanents, or countering blue spells, like Tolarian Terror and such. Playing against graveyard strategies, I'm including Nihil Spellbombs. And as there is always that one Tron player in my meta, here are Cleansing Wildfires in the sideboard. Oh, one neat little trick. If you're boarding those wildfires in, and not using them to destroy a land of your opponent, they have a nice little synergy with those indestructible artifact lands. Casting Cleanse of Wildfire, targeting your own land, will not destroy it as it is indestructible, but you get a basic land that you can fetch up, and drawing a card. So this is card draw and ramp combined. If you target your own indestructible artifact land. But this synergy is not as strong, I think, on its own, so I don't have it main. What I have main is one Abrade. Here's another. It's a flexible removal spell, dealing 3 damage, playing against Prowess or Boros Heroic or something like that. Playing against other token decks, here's Suffocating Fumes, 2 of them, giving your opponent's creatures -1/-1 kills a lot of creatures in the meta today. For those annoying Boggles players, there's Chain's Edict. Note, Chain's Edict is only been printed as an uncommon, but was released as a common in Magic Online, so this is considered to be Pauper legal. Playing against burn decks, I'm including those silver Glyph staffs, allow me to equip my cheap little tokens, having them there to be sacrificed, providing me with 3 lives. And playing against an Aura deck or Tortured Existence, what I think is quite a fun deck, but I did not perform well last time I've played Friday Night Magic in Pauper with Tortured Existence. Well, in the case I see this or another enchantment-based deck here as Tranquility, I'm including in the sideboard to get them destroyed. I'm sorry for the noise. Please let me know what you think about this deck. Would you play it? Have you experienced playing this? And if you're interested in seeing how I performed with this deck, make sure to look in the comments. I'm gonna pin the comment with my results on top. That's it for today. Make sure to subscribe, have a look at the playlist with the story audiobooks I uploaded lately, and I would say we'll see soon. Bye for now.